Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm your host Nuria. Today I'm here to talk about how to restart healing. If you are the person who has been reading self-help books, hundreds of them, and watching thousands of YouTube videos, but you found no result, and maybe you thought self-help is not for me, you are not alone. In this seminar, we are going to talk about these challenges and how to overcome defeat. Before I continue, I want to leave you with one reminder, and that is defeat is not the end of a story. It's the beginning of something great. So, why is healing important? Healing is very essential because when we carry unhealed wounds, it affects a lot of area of our life, our relationships, our health, our career. It just steals everything. Our dreams. Imagine every day waking up with lots of negative energy. Before you open your eyes, the past is already on your head, taking control of the day. Living life like that is exhausting. But God did not create us to live an exhausting life. He did not create us to live a stressful life. In fact, it's quite the opposite. He created us to live a life of adventure, a life of exploration, a life of education, learning, building. Human beings, we have always been our ancestors, always building. Humanity often faced adversities, calamities that led them into nothingness, into having nothing, into being defeated. But history shows that our ancestors started over again and they built better. So can we. So, how do we restart healing? How do we restart healing? So, we will learn about how to turn past wounds into new strengths. We will explore steps to restart your healing journey and practical tools to overcome defeat and ways to build resilience and hope. So, the topic is restarting your healing journey. Healing begins with honesty. And that means acknowledging that we do not like where we are, acknowledging that we have messed up, acknowledging that we have failed to meet our own expectation, not expectation of others, because we failed trying to fit in, we failed trying to meet the expectation of everybody else and forgetting our own. So the healing journey is starting fresh, starting over, so we can put our own self as priority. And that starts with honesty. It also means not ruminating over past, not repeating what happened to us over and over in our head and living in it, because it only drains our energy. It doesn't help. What we need is a new mindset where we feel we are starting from zero and we can build and gradually making small steps that we appreciate. Acknowledging that we are human beings, we are flawed, we are imperfect. We follow certain things not because we want to hurt ourselves. We follow them because we thought that's good for us. So it's all about education. And education works when there is honesty, when there is acceptance, when there is appreciation, and love and care. So moving on, I want to share from my own personal experience what makes the self-help effort, reading several books and watching YouTube videos and every other material of self-help, but then end up with having nothing, with going nowhere except small results. What is the reason? I personally have read lots of books and watched thousands of videos, and I was every day energy drained. I came to a point where I concluded maybe healing doesn't work for me. I think you also felt the same way at some point. So this session is about how we restart over. I will give you practical strategies that helped me that you can also apply. One thing is attachment. They say the root of all suffering is attachment. So I want you to ask yourself the question, what am I so much afraid of losing? What do I fear losing, that if this thing or this person is not in my life, I won't be able to live without? That is attachment. Now, the thing is, sometimes we may not even know that this attachment is causing the suffering, because this person could be the person we love, it could be our parent, it could be in a marriage, in a relationship. So what helps us to come out of this attachment, to see the attachment, even if not started the process to overcome or to release attachment, to be able to see the attachment itself, it requires reflection involving a therapy, a professional. Therapy can help us navigate through most traumatic experiences safely. Often we feel scared to go to those areas, those wounded areas. We feel going there is we are going to discover something unpleasant, something bad. But with a professional, we can get a safe space to navigate through them, then we can start working on that. Related to attachment is studying the physical environment we are in. If we are in a relationship, in a marriage, where the partner is not supportive, continuously nagging, or a parent, or a sibling, whoever the person we associate, a friend, they are continuously having a negative influence on us, studying that. And then having a physical space for ourselves, where we can now start to listen our own voice. Because when we have loud, harsh critics around us, it drowns our own authentic voice. We start doubting our own voice and start leaning onto them and leaning onto another person for our own life, for our own choices. It's dangerous. It creates so much suffering. Another point, creating healthy routines. Self care, daily self care routines. Eating healthy, dressing well, getting proper rest, having a quiet time, avoiding gadgets when we feel overwhelmed. When we have those moments, we feel uneasy, our chest is heavy, we tend to reach to our phone or a tablet or a laptop, distract ourselves because we are scared. But we can transform that experience instead of being a victim to that, making that experience a moment of connection. We live in a world that constantly dismisses our feelings, silences our truths, dims our light. It's been hard to listen to our own authentic voice. We have so much wounds and so much suppressed emotions that need to be felt, that need to be understood and processed and released. So create that space for yourself by sitting with yourself. Exercise daily, reading books that speak your problem, that can provide you with strategies to attack, to solve the problem you have. Knowing toxic patterns through reflection. When do I say, for example, catching myself when I find myself doing things like saying yes to people just to please them while I am upset inside, doing something for a person just to keep peace, knowing those moments and interrupting the flow, and reinventing ourselves by putting in a new thought, a new habit, a new practice where we are the center of our healing, where we are the center of the attention in our life. We are the priority. Our needs, our well being, our peace are the priority before that of the other person. It's very important that we must prioritize our own self. Even if we read lots of self help books, watch YouTube videos, and do some routines, if we are not responsible for our thinking process, the mind is going to recreate the same past, the same traumatic experience, the same relationship of abandonment or betrayal. And we end up freaking out. What happened? Why am I having this same people? These people are different, but they are treating me the same way. Disrespect, abuse, neglect. What could be the reason? So, interrupting the pattern, watching ourselves, what we are thinking, how it is affecting us. This will, over time, will help us to start living with intention, where we become the masters of our own mind, masters of our own emotions, educating ourselves about those, how to train our mind, setting boundary. This is where it's so difficult for us to say no. If we have been living in a life where mostly we were pleasing people, it's hard to say no. We just want to keep peace. But having boundaries is very essential in a world that constantly thrives at, at hurting. When any person sees your weakness, they will use it against you. So having boundary is a personal care. It's protection from being drained, from being taken advantage of. Transforming our mind and our heart, being disciplined, learning new skill. If you don't know what skill you like, you can start with something. On YouTube, there are so many videos. Pick something, start learning a few months and see if you can find something, if you can like it. And then try another one. This will distract your mind from toxicity into being creative. That will make you happier, less overthinking, keeping distance from the wrong people, the people that drain our energy, the people that do not appreciate us for who we are, keeping distance from them. It's for our own safety and peace of mind. Walking away from a love, from a relationship, from a job, from opportunities that do not value us, that do not see us as a human being, that do not respect us, that do not value our needs, our health, our well being. It's very important to rescue ourselves. Embracing our truest identity. The world often teaches us to quiet our feelings, to neglect our feelings, to silence our truth, and dims our light. We are often told how to think, how to talk, everything is controlled externally. But we need to take that makes us deviate from our truest identity, which is human. We are human. And to be human is to be flawed, to be imperfect. So embracing our truth, accepting ourselves as flawed, as imperfect, as vulnerable and weak being who needs education, care, and love. That creates compassion. And then having a daily connection with God. We are trained to think that God is against us. For example, you set a goal, you start working on it, then you see a friend is has worked for less time but has succeeded and you did not. So you resent God. We resent God. This is because we were told that God is responds quickly, and if He did not give you quickly, then it's against you, which is completely wrong. Everyone has their own timing. We don't know what the other person went through. God is for all of us. He's not against us. And whatever thing we want to do that benefits us, He's for us. So foster your relationship with God. Heal through connection to Him. The world has to tell us lies continuously to keep us distant from our truth and from God, because that's the only way they can control us. So take control of yourself by having your own authentic observation of who God is in your life, in the world around you, the true God. And who are you authentically? And accepting that and living with that. Thank you for watching.